Crystal here
with Leigh Anne. Hope you guys are having an awesome week. So if you haven't noticed, we had a bit of a name change this week.
Yes.
Actually, quite a few of them have kept saving.
765, maybe? Maybe.
Saving multiples, trying to see what was available on Instagram. So everybody else has lots of good names, and so it was really, really hard to find one that was available and meant what we wanted to. So we've been racking our brains for like 2 weeks now, I think, trying to come up with a name that was relevant. We loved Woman Freed, and the premise behind it and the scripture behind it, you know, that Jesus has come and can heal us from our bondage and our sin and sickness and everything. So we just had a really hard time landing on something that was relevant to what we were trying to say. So we found a scripture in Romans 6. It is verses 14 through 18. Sin is no longer your master, for you no longer live under the requirements of the law. Instead, you live under the freedom of God's grace. Well then, since God's grace has set us free from the law, does that mean we can go on sinning? Of course not. Don't you realize that you become a slave to whatever you choose to obey? You can be a slave to sin, which leads to death, or you can choose to obey God, which leads to righteous living. Thank God. Once you were slaves of sin, but now you wholeheartedly obey this teaching we have given you. Now you are free from your slavery to sin, and you have become slaves to righteous living. I think that's just our goal. Yeah. We want to live lives that glorify God, and that's what we want our journey to be about. We want to be imperfect people who are saved by God's grace. And so that's the name. I don't think we said the name yet, did we?
Did we not?
I don't know. Awakened Grace. So, no.
Grace Awakened.
Grace Awakened, for crying out loud. Goodness gracious.
It's going to stick.
It's going to stick. Okay, yeah, we're having some issues, clearly. But so we're really super stoked about the premise of that. The fact that I came across a quote this week that said, "We are saved by grace, but we're changed by choice." And that just really, really resonated with what we're trying to accomplish. The fact that we have to choose every day who we will obey, whether that's our sin or whether that's God.
Well, and I think it's a daily thing too, because like Paul said, he literally has to die to self daily. Mm-hmm. And I think we have to as well. We have to die to the desire for chocolate. And
speaking of, we're in a coworker's office right now filming this. There's a whole bag of chocolate sitting here
that we're going to
not
walk
even
away
touch
from. But yeah, it's a day by day thing. We're choosing day by day to do the right thing. I'm going to choose to go to the gym when I get off work today because I didn't make it this morning, but Leigh Anne did.
Woo, woo. Woo. So I've been getting up early in the mornings and going, and that has worked really well for me. I feel way better than when I sleep in, and I get it done first thing.
Of course, my brother would call.
So I get it done first thing in the morning, then go back and get ready for work and all that jazz. So it's worked out really well for me. But
I'm not a morning person.
She's not a morning person.
So I have been not going, and over and over and over again, things will come up. I don't hear my alarm clock, or I get up and it's like 30 minutes into when we were supposed to be working out together, and I feel like a total failure. And so I told Leigh Anne today, like I was leaving this morning, getting up, we were leaving, I was taking my daughter to school, and I said, that's it. Tonight, I told my daughter we're going to the gym. We're going to go for the last 2 hours that they're open because that way there'll be fewer people there, kind of like it is in the morning. Yep. And because I'm a night owl, and so I think, and I might even sleep better and be able to get up earlier if I exercise right before the evening. So who knows? I might get 2 workouts in the day eventually, but
absolutely,
we're going to work on that.
One step at
a time.
Okay. So our progress, we've kind of talked about that just a little bit. I've been getting up and going to the gym pretty consistently for a few weeks now. I guess we're just a little over a month in. Yeah, because we started on December 10th. So we've been making pretty decent choices. I would say for the most part, for me, the biggest issue is definitely still food. Like I can get up and go work out, but the food, especially on the weekends, because we've conditioned ourselves over the years to eat crap on the weekends or to indulge or to, you know, and so it's just been, that's been my hardest thing.
See, and honestly, the exercising is probably my hardest thing because for me, like I don't have a problem saying no to to that bun on the burger. Like, I don't mind going to the restaurant and saying, hey, I want my burger without a bun. I want a salad instead of fries, or I want a chicken salad instead of a chicken sandwich or something like that. I don't have a problem with that. And I can kind of stick to the keto thing, but it's really, really hard for me to exercise. And so that's an area I'm really struggling, is being consistent with exercising.
And this is really, really a prime example of how we are yin and yang. Like, in so many areas. I am the calm to her storm, and vice versa, and depending on the situation. And, I'm very like detailed and structured, and she's the creative. And so
all over the place.
So it's really a great example of that, of how we are just different.
Yeah, we are. But at the same time, we can encourage each other.
Yes, it's really, really
cool. Do this together as sisters.
Exactly. So I met with a nutritionist last week, and kind of got a game plan as far as like how many calories I should be eating and what I should be eating. And she's actually not a fan of keto. So I'm going to try her way for a bit. I love keto, and I love the way it makes me feel. But I also find it hard to manage when I've got to cook for 3 other people who aren't really that way. And, my husband's kind of a picky eater with certain meats and stuff. So it gets really hard. So I'm just trying to work on the calorie goal and then the macros that she had given me. So we shall see how that goes, but just trying to track that.
That's exciting, though, and I think we'll be able to help more people, or more people will be able to gain knowledge from this if we're doing different things and we're not doing exactly the same thing, because, what works for you might not work for me, and what works for me may not work for you, And like, you have the 3 people in your house you got to cook for. I've only got 1, and I can kind of make mine.
Yes,
put the bread down.
Exactly. So we have one last thing before we hop off real quick, because we don't want this to be super long. But Crystal and I have brought her onto my side in this regard, and we are addicted to something.
Totally addicted.
Like, it is amazing, and it is the hydro jug.
Like, throw your Yeti out the window right now.
For real. And not only that, we're giving this away.
Yes.
The blush pink one. We're giving it away. So you'll have to check the comments of the post whenever I do that on our Instagram, and you'll have to check the comments for what to do and all of that. But we are super excited. This is a 73-ounce bottle that is meant to serve as like a half gallon, which is 64 ounces, but it's got a little bit more on the top. And so if you fill it up twice, that's a gallon a day. Right now we're shooting for 1 each a day, and if we can get more, then that's awesome, and eventually work our way up for sure. But as we know, water is important. It's important to stay hydrated. It's important for your body to function. You have to be hydrated. And for me, Crystal's not a soda drinker, but I am. I could drink diet soda all day long and just be happy as a cow. But Crystal's a coffee drinker.
Yes, I am.
All day long.
I am. And I started, last weekend, I started filling up my jug before I drank my cup of coffee. Like, I made myself finish that first bottle of water, the entire bottle of water, before I drank my cup of coffee.
Yep.
And it's funny because I don't think that I ever noticed how thirsty I really was until now. I'm forcing myself to drink on a regular basis, and I find myself like, where's my jug? Like, I'm like in a desert or something, and I'm really not. I'm drinking more than I have recently, but goodness, it's good. It's good stuff.
It's really awesome. I love having just not having to go refill it a ton, walking back and forth. Because let me tell you, you're going to get enough exercise walking back and forth to the bathroom.
Okay. Say it again for the folks in the back. Good say.
For real. So we, one trip, and then they have awesome sleeves that are the, gosh, what is that material? I don't even know what the material is, but it soaks all up
It's like a cozy. It's like a massive cozy for your hydro jug.
And it has a strap and a place for your phone. And it's got this sweet handle on the back.
Yes.
So we're really excited to give one of these away and kind of get the word out about those. But so I guess that's it for now.
Yeah.
We've got to start doing more videos.
Yes, we do.
And we are going public, which is terrifying. And when I say going public, I mean we are going to out ourselves to our friends and family. And
that is really scary.
Facebook fam, Instagram fam, because any of you who have a private page aside for your weight loss and all of that, you know, it's kind of scary when somebody, this has happened a couple times to us, when somebody you know wants to follow you and you're like, but we need that accountability. We know that. Otherwise, this will just be another thing.
I won't go to the gym. I won't go to the
But
gym.
she's going to go to the gym once we go public, which is probably like today.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's just,
All right.
Band-Aid.
Bite the bullet.
Rip it off.
Exactly. All right, so we'll holler at y'all later, and
Here's to a great 2019.
yes, 2019.
Woo.